I get asked a lot when people reach out to me about moving here to the St. George area. People start asking me, hey, where should I live? Should I look out in Ivins? Should I look in Hurricane? Should I look right downtown in St. George? Or maybe even go out to the suburbs of Washington? In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about where the new areas are, where the old areas are, and what types of homes you'll be able to get in each of those areas. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this video and get started. What's up, guys? My name is Cody Steck. I'm your Utah realtor. I want to be your trusted real estate resource when it comes to buying, selling, or investing in real estate here in Southern Utah. My team and I actually service the entire state, and we'd love to help you if you're looking to buy or sell. My information is here on the screen, and you'll find my email in the description box below. So feel free to reach out to me, and let's have a discussion about how we can help make that possible. Okay, so as we jump into this, you're going to notice that most of St. George is really kind of a newer area. I've got this outline here showing houses that were built before 1980. Now, these are homes that are on the market, but it's going to give us kind of a good representation of what's out there and what's available in these older neighborhoods. So if we actually take a look here, you're going to notice that most of the growth has happened here along the I-15 corridor. You have St. George, kind of the downtown area right here, just to the northwest of I-15 as it pulls through town here. You're also going to have Washington up here to the northeast, and then you have Bloomington down here to the southwest. So this is where a lot of these older homes are at. The thing you'll probably notice is you might be thinking, hey, 1980, that's actually not that old. You know, when it comes to housing here in St. George, we don't have a ton of those areas where you're going to find super old houses. Most of St. George was developed in the last 20, 30, 40 years. And so it is a relatively new area, but this will give you a pretty good idea of where those older homes are at and where those older neighborhoods are. So when you take a look at this map here, you can see that there's, even one house out here in Santa Clara, a bunch here in downtown, and then a couple over here in Washington and Bloomington. Now, the interesting thing that you're going to see about this is that just because there's some older houses here doesn't mean that there's not also newer homes in that area. So let's go ahead and take a look here at this. We're going to go back here. We're going to hide the map, and we're going to come in here to the criteria. And I'm actually going to update this and look at homes built between 1980 and 1990. So we opened this up to 1990 as the maximum year built. Let's go back here, and take a look at the map. And this is going to give us a lot of those same indicators that we were just looking at. So a lot of the growth that happened as St. George started to grow, more people started moving there, and they started building houses, happened in the 80s. So you'll see a couple more homes out here in Santa Clara. You see some over here in Dixie Downs, Green Valley, Bloomington down here. You've even got a couple over here in Little Valley, Bloomington Hills, of course, a bunch downtown. This is where you're going to find kind of your older neighborhoods is right there in that downtown area. And then you're also going to have a good handful of older homes over here in Washington. So this part of Washington right here off the freeway is a little bit older. You've got Middleton right here with a couple older homes, but you'll notice there's nothing over here in Washington Fields. There's nothing down here on the southern end, like in Sun River or Desert Color. There's nothing over here, off of Southern Parkway. So a lot of those areas are fostering the new growth. So that's something I think is pretty interesting. You're going to see the same thing even if we jump into it and take a look at homes built between 1990 and 2000. You'll see a lot of those same things. But for now, I want to jump over to talking about these new neighborhoods, where you can get new construction, and talk about some of the pros and cons to each of those neighborhoods. Okay, so we're going to come back here to my search system, and we're going to type in year built minimum of 2022. This is going to give us 107 current results for homes that are on the market that are currently being built or were built this year, right? Any homes that were just finished off. So you're going to see a couple pockets here where these new homes are going in. So there's a lot of homes out here in Ivins, and 20, 30 years ago, Ivins was kind of like way out of town, right? It was kind of like out in the boonies. If you lived out in Ivins, a long time ago, it was kind of like you lived out there because, frankly, like you just didn't want to be close to town, or maybe you couldn't afford being close to town or whatever. So you kind of had to live out in the middle of nowhere. But now Ivins is actually booming, and there's a lot of growth going on out here in this area. So there's some nice houses out here, and it's gotten pretty expensive, which is the crazy part about it. I mean, look at these new homes. This one, $875, $750, $729. Like, there's some really nice homes here. I mean, there's even one up here in the foothills at $7.5 million. So pretty crazy to see what that's turned into. You've also got some here at Entrada. If we come down here around Sunbrook, you've got a couple options. You also have quite a few options down here at Desert Color, right? You can see there's a lot of growth going in here, lots of options for homes here on the market. And they're going to range anywhere from, this house right here at 1.1 million. It's a 2,600 square foot home, to a potential townhome space right here, 323. That's actually a shared use on that one, but this is like a townhome here, 2 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,400 square square feet at $472. So desert color is going to be a little bit more expensive, especially if you want to go that new construction route, but there are a lot of great options here. I mean, looking at this place, this single family home here, it's $720,000. It's 3,000 square feet. I mean, this is a really, really great house. This is something I would definitely recommend if you're looking at new construction. These are some great options here in the desert color area. So you could come in, make this house your own, and have a pretty cool place in that $700,000 range. So that's one of the new areas that's growing like crazy is desert color. You also are going to have some homes out here just off of the Southern Parkway. So you're going to have desert canyons out here. There's a couple options there that you can see. You do have the airport out here, so I don't expect a ton of growth to be happening out there just because people don't generally want to be in the flight path of that airport, but there is still some growth going out there. Now, as we come up here a little bit further north, you're going to come into Washington Fields, and Washington Fields is going to have a couple different pockets where you're going to have varying homes selling at, different price points. So you do have some smaller homes here. This one's selling for $650 at 1,700 square feet. You've got this, these homes over here, about 1.5 million. You do have some in the 900 to a million range. Some of these lower ones are actually like timeshare type opportunities. This one's a townhome, but there's quite a mixture here. I mean, there's even a $10 million house listed right here. Pretty crazy to see this type of stuff. But Washington Fields is a very popular area right now. My brother actually lives in Washington Fields, absolutely loves it. It's a great spot. There's a ton of growth going on out there. You can kind of see how much of this empty space is here. This is where there's a lot of farmland and fields, hence the name, right? So this is going to change over. There's going to be more commercial development, more houses, more things like that going in there in that area. You've got a couple options up here as well in this newer part of town up on the east side. So these are kind of the newer areas where you can look for houses. If you're looking at new construction, there's pros and cons. A good thing about this overall is no matter if you're going from, let's say you're going from Ivins all the way over to Washington Fields, that's probably only going to take you 30, maybe 35 minutes depending on traffic. So it's fairly easy to get around here in town. The closer you are to downtown, you will find some older homes. You can still find some newer ones, right? Again, looking at this map, there are a couple options for new homes that are still closer to town. You've got a couple here, just over here off Walker Way. So that's an option up off the Tech Ridge. So you could go over there. You could come over here to Washington Fields, and you're just a short drive here on River Road into kind of the downtown area. So there's some options for you, regardless of where you're looking. Pros and cons to both, of course. That's why if you're thinking about making a move here, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about where the best option is for you. Maybe you want a newer lifestyle. Maybe you want kids. Maybe you want a retirement community. Whatever it is that you're looking for, reach out to me. My team and I would love to help you find a home and a place that's really going to fit that lifestyle that you're looking for. So with all that being said, guys, again, my information's in the description box below, and you can find my email here on screen. So just shoot me an email and let's chat about that. And with all that said, guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and we'll catch you in the next one.